ahoy of the pod. The ahoy of the pod.
Have ahoy of the pod. The fucking podcast. Yeah, the ahoy of it.
LeBron James. Chris Haynes here.
Let's send it over to Chris Haynes. I'm here with LeBron James.
He did that on purpose. He did that on purpose, Chris.
Or he's the kid. He's the kid, and it grew up.
LeBron James. He knew what he was doing there.
This is Chris Hansen.
This is TJ Hushmanzada.
Chad doing Rip City Radio here.
This is Jamie Hudson.
And I need to let y'all know something. You're listening to.
And you're listening to.
It just makes sense.
This just makes sense.
It just makes sense.
Woo! Way better than Chris Hansen.
Yeah, seriously. I want to get involved in the rigging of Fat Bear Week.
In relationship to Fall Out Boy.
Oh, Fall Out Boy. People are.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, my God.
I'm sorry. Yeah,
Oh, we got it.
Cut that.
Like, someone should hire you to be a protester. 4 bills dead weight. They're not getting you off that court.
They look at me and I'm like, I fucking dare you.
That's what I'm
I
saying.
dare you.
I mean, like,
Tractor, there's nothing that can.
They gotta be forklift certified.
Oh, I can't be a Cowboys fan because of this moral high ground that you are on. Bite me. Eat me.
Bite me. Eat me. I mean, gosh.
I'm so sorry to everyone that we just did that to.
Everything I just said before that, I just made that shit up.
Small enough and dumb enough.
Small enough, dumb enough. That's what we want.
That is It Just Makes Sense.
Chris Haynes trying to get a pay raise. Okay, that's enough.
Listen, Chris is sitting pretty. Chris Haynes went from rooming with me on the road to doing sidelines, national NBA reporter for Bleacher Report, TNT.
Now he makes about $97,000 a year.
Oh my God, he is probably just from TNT. I would imagine he's getting 6 figures from TNT. But yeah, I mean, like, Chris was
the way he gambles. There's no way he gets to keep a lot of that.
Yeah,
money.
the only thing that he gambled on was having 4 kids and all of them being girls. I think that he just kept on trying to find a boy within that whole ordeal, and found himself with 4 girls. But man, I'm so proud of what Chris Haynes has done with his career. He started out, no joke, he started out just like writing for Slam magazine for free. And then, CSN brought him on like part-time. And then he, becomes what he is today.
He's doing free work.
Basically. That's how he got into it, yeah.
So, Pete, are you saying that you hate women?
No, I'm not saying that at all.
You said it was bad that he had 4 daughters.
I'm just saying that he was gambling on the fact that I didn't say anything about it being bad. I just said that he was gambling.
Accusation.
I'd hate for things to get misunderstood.
Yes.
Accusations.
You know what's not misunderstood, actually? It's the fact of your love for Outback. I had no idea that this was how tonight's conversation was going to start.
Honestly, it was misunderstood, not understood.
I mean, you didn't even know.
I didn't realize it, but
it's
I fuck with Outback heavy.
You fucks with Outback
heavy.
It is pretty wild that we went through, and like there's a lane.
11 restaurants.
Like there's a lane,
More,
right? Like once
20.
we get into like different tiers of restaurants. You're talking about the Outback lane. There's a lot of restaurants in the Outback lane.
Here's how I view it. There's fast food, right?
Yep.
We all know fast food: McDonald's, Burger King, Taco Bell.
Ever heard of it?
Fast casual,
Chipotle.
Qdoba, Chipotle,
Adobe.
and then there's sit-down chains.
Chili's, Applebee's,
Outback Steakhouse,
Olive Garden.
And of
that sector, I do think that Outback Steakhouse is near the top.
Because of the bloomin' onion?
The bloomin' onion is a great dish, but I wouldn't even put it in the top 5 of Outback dishes.
I would kind of
Name
like
5 before it.
I mean, but the bloomin' onion's kind of a trap.
It's a trap.
I get it, but
it's a gimmick.
Let's test your love for Outback. What are the 5 that you put above?
I know.
Onion?
Okay, that is a fair question because you said that you like it so much. you must like eat a robust amount of the menu. You're not like just going there and getting one.
But
thing,
I'm saying
are
Bloomin'
you?
Onion isn't my number one, but to think of that of putting 5 dishes ahead of it, it's probably like my 4th or 5th. But what's the 5 that you have in front of it?
Well, there's the Alice Springs chicken quesadilla, one of the best chicken quesadillas, I swear to God. And the weirdest part is
It's named after Alice.
Alice Springs, I believe it's called.
Alice Springs.
But you dip it in honey mustard. It's so good.
What type of sorcery is that?
And obviously there's like 3 steaks. And comparing the thing
Name
against
them.
the ribeye,
Yes.
Are
That's
you
one.
going the wood-fired?
I go wood-fired
Okay.
every time. I would honestly take the New York strip, obviously. I might even take the sirloin over
You son of a bitch.
the Bloomin' Onion.
You've named 4 things.
The cheese fries, the bacon cheese fries are incredible. The wedge salad is probably the thing I've ordered most from Outback Steakhouse. The wedge salad, extra toppings.
Dude, this is such a Hufflepuff take.
Yeah, well, it really is, Mr. Hufflepuff over here. Mr. Hufflepuff. I am a little bit surprised because you were talking about your high school girlfriend or your longtime girlfriend had worked at Outback, and so I'm surprised that you didn't eat it, to the point where you're just like tired of
No.
it. But maybe the menu was so robust.
No, it was wonderful being a high school stoner and being
Yeah.
able to
Get
pull up to
$200 worth of food
Outback
for
and
free.
get
There was one restaurant that you did have trouble with when answering this question within this wheelhouse, which was Cheesecake Factory. And it's because they have like a 97-page.
Yeah, because I
menu.
feel like you could have something different every day if you had to have Cheesecake
You
Factory
could just
all the
like
time.
flip through the pages and then
Yeah.
decide, like, I don't know what I want.
I don't
and
like
just choose
Cheesecake
your own.
Factory.
You're not
Also-
down with it? There's so much.
I think it's my fault though.
Is it because there's
I think
analysis or like?
I always end up ordering some type of pasta, and
Yeah.
I've never liked a single one. But I also keep going for the pasta instead of trying something else.
You know what Cheesecake Factory could be better at is like all their drinks, like
don't think I've
alcoholic
ever gotten a drink.
beverages.
I don't think I've ever gotten an alcoholic. Well, I've gotten
Yes.
like a beer.
I've never gotten a drink
I've
there.
only gotten a beer.
Yeah, I feel like I've gotten a cocktail there before. Maybe it was a happy hour or something. Had to do it to get the deals in the bar.
The other thing is I didn't go to a Cheesecake Factory for the first time till I was like 20.
Yeah, I was very old the first
Yeah,
time
like
I went.
23.
Yeah,
So it's
Uh-huh.
still relatively new.
sure.
I'm a young man.
Okay, so yours is Outback, Red Lobster.
No.
Okay,
Red
there you
Lobster's
go.
trash,
It
bro.
would
is,
take
but I mean
Outback.
they've got never-ending.
Outback's lobster tails are way
Scrimps.
better than anything Red Lobster has. Their shrimp is better. All the seafood at Outback is way better than the seafood at
You
Red
know how
Lobster.
Lindsay brought up Romano's macaroni grill?
Yes.
That's
So good.
A lot of people have forgotten because some people didn't make it, like some of the younger people. Tony Roma's belongs in that category.
Tony Roma's,
is
yeah.
all you can eat riblets.
R.I.P. to Tony Roma's.
Tony Roma's.
I'm-
man.
TGI Fridays.
Oh, that's a good one.
That is a good one. That is a good one.
We've had this debate about
Fridays
the
doesn't
inception
have-
of Fridays.
Fridays doesn't have quality food though. It's just a good hangout spot.
Sure.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, if we're talking food, I'd have to go Outback.
All right.
We get it, man.
We
You
get it.
fucking
You love it.
Outback.
Like the
Jeez.
overall environment, TGI Fridays.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's more of a vibe.
So Outback's too stuffy. You think that they
That's
need
not
to-
what I
That
said.
is what you said. That's kind of what he said.
It's
He
just
did.
more relaxed,
Kind
more
of a s-
chill.
Mm.
TGI Fridays is more of a party vibe. Thank God it's Friday. Come on, it's in the name.
It's kind of a stuck-up take. You
It
know,
is a
right?
little bit, yeah. Are you just ashamed? Are you ashamed of Outback? I mean, it's
No,
fine.
I'm not. I'm
I would never say that about
Not
Yard
shamed.
House. Shout out Yard House. I was just in Boise, and I was so upset.
and you
that
didn't go.
and I
so
couldn't go.
Shout out Yard House.
You're not a real
He loves
fan.
it so much. He didn't fucking go.
Yeah, I have been. So when I was at Summer League, I would go for lunch and for dinner in Las Vegas. They go, "Have you ever been here before?" I'd be like, "Melissa, I was here 4 hours ago."
Melissa.
Listen, how do you not recognize
I know
me?
you have 4 kids, Melissa.
Yeah, I know where the bathroom is. Thank you. And that's where I would go. Like when I was on the NBA circuit, I would go to a yard house because that was like comfort. You go, it was same atmosphere, same vibe, and then it was.
Would you get a yardstick or whatever?
No, because I would never be able to drink it fast enough. I didn't want warm beer, so I would just like keep getting pints. And I didn't like the commitment of like that much of one liquid.
The man is a creature of habit.
Yes, you gotta have that habit. So, what about you on Magoo? Do you have like one of these where you just would always go that you're just kind of
Just food.
Just food. Man had 2
You
burritos.
ever heard of that place?
Yeah.
I've heard of the food.
Yeah, man had 2 burritos for dinner tonight.
Very impressive.
Yeah.
And
It's
I don't
1
know.
3/4.
I don't know if
You
you
eat the
you didn't
bottom
eat-
part of the shrimp burrito.
Oh, gotcha. My bad.
It was all
He was
tortillas.
saving.
did
yeah.
you ever pass by his workstation and see his strategy to consuming them?
I did not know.
So
I don't make
to
eye.
hear this.
I never make eye contact with Miguel when he's eating. I'll tell you that much.
well, he was staring at the game. I was able to look in while he between grunts and swallows.
And jizz.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Audible sweating.
there was 2 napkins placed, and then he had flattened each burrito on its bottom end to make sure they could stand by themselves.
Yeah, I know you're impressed.
Honestly, it's a feat of
Hit the
ingenuity here.
The Twin Towers.
Yeah,
of,
so he had
a
2 in each
burrito.
hand, and they were shoulder width apart. There was sauce outside of each, and I can imagine that the method was you pick up one with this hand, you put the sauce over
Yep.
from there, put it down, eat, and then you switch.
You're just changing flavors. every time.
Yeah, and then you go back. And I was quite impressed with his strategic burrito eating.
Congratulations, Juan.
His
I also do
SBE.
that with wedge salads.
Yeah. Do you start from the fat end or the corner?
Yeah, which
One whole bite.
which way are you attacking?
You got to
a
start
wedge
from the
salad?
corner.
You're not going like full like
You can-
right over the top for the
What was that?
YouTube viewers who just saw me.
Testing your deep throat
Ha!
game on the
Oh,
wedge.
Goodness gracious.
This microphone is too wide to do that.
Too girthy.
Too girthy.
Mm.
All right.
Well, welcome to It Just Makes Sense, presented by Boneyard Beer. We just finished watching the Warriors go 3-1 down to the Lakers. How about it?
Sad stuff.
How about it?
How the mighty have fallen.
Yeah, exactly. I can't believe that you guys did not like my son. We were practicing this all day. All day we were practicing this joke, and I don't think it got the credit that it...
I can't believe that something I taught my son that I thought was funny, you guys don't think is funny.
It was funny. Listen, when you
He didn't execute it well.
Oh, that was true. He did mess up the joke. When you spend all day trying to teach your 4-year-old son you want to CDs, and then he says CDs nuts, and then
I still don't get the joke.
D's
What is-
nuts.
what is
It's a-
CDs?
you want to CDs? D's nuts?
What's a CDs?
I don't know. It's just part of the joke. I don't know what part of the joke is, but he had said something earlier this morning that resembled that, and then I was just like, oh, just say D's nuts. So he was
You
like,
trying to say you want to see these?
yes,
You want to see these?
yes,
These what? Then these nuts.
D's
I
nuts.
think it's a little obvious when you go, you want to see these?
Yes, that's what I'm trying to say.
I think the way that you teach Brody not to mess up again is to ground him for fucking up
Definitely
the
a
joke.
spanking.
Yeah.
He fucked up the joke. He's got to be punished.
Yeah.
It is really hilarious to hear young kids cuss. It's hilarious, and I can't help it. Like earlier today, like I had dropped, I had said fuck, and he goes, Dad, we're not supposed to say fuck. And I'm like, well, you're right, Brody. So, and I was like, you shouldn't say that.
Are you doing
either.
the soap in the mouth? Or you just enjoy it when he
Well,
I mean,
you-
I
you
tried
cuss too
teaching.
often.
Yeah, I do.
You
I'm
can't punish him
indoctrinating
for
him.
something you do.
Exactly. Fresh off of a weekend of
Debauchery.
hijinks, debauchery, and shenanigans.
Yeah, for sure.
Why don't we talk about Friday? Nope. Yeah, this was both Saturday for you guys. So who wants to go first with their plans? Braxton is a big Timbers guy now, as we have come to discover. Why don't we start there?
Well, I went into this more as a documentarian and a journalist. really, more than anything. No, I'm just kidding. Jordan, our good friend who was on the pod a couple
Joe's
weeks
friend of the
ago,
pod.
filled in for me. He has season tickets to the Timbers, so he had somebody save some seats for us in the Timbers Army, because I guess they're first come, first serve. And
Yeah, there's apparently scarf etiquette.
yes, so
Which I don't support.
you wouldn't.
I don't support scarf
I don't think you
etiquette.
would love that at all.
Yeah.
But
I
you
don't think
also
would like
do.
anything army related.
But you
necessarily.
would love it when you're on the right end of it, because you love like being in charge and being able to tell people no and that you've got something they don't. So if you were on the right
I
of
actually find it very uncomfortable.
Really?
I do, yeah. Like, I mean, I went to a concert at a McMinimans a couple weeks ago, and I was puppy guarding a seat, and people kept on trying to get in. I was like, "This, I don't."
But the
like
thing is,
saying
you don't
that.
have to puppy guard. The scarf, you don't have to say anything. You can go, and if you have 20 scarves, you can save 20 seats, and nobody's going to touch them. You just know that you have them.
What if? Okay,
Yeah, Peter would stress
so-
about someone not following that and him being
having
confrontation.
having to be in the confrontation of
Yeah.
it. Because then what happens if like then someone moves and I don't see, and then they go, well, it wasn't there when I got there, and I go bullshit, and then they go nuh-uh, and then conversation ended. What, they just don't?
Well,
I don't like it.
another situation you might have to deal with is a very drunk man all of a sudden who asked to have 2 seats saved invites all of his friends that he saw up in the nosebleeds to come on down and take these seats next to me that somebody else saved, not for you guys.
Oh, so
That
he
could
did,
also
He
happen.
did the thing. So he violated the scarf rule? Jordan, you can't be selective in how you enforce the scarf rule.
Jordan was
I did.
blacked the fuck out.
I can neither confirm nor deny
So that's the thing, that you are literally
Jordan's state of
answering-
intoxication.
You are saying like, why if everyone had adhered to it, if everyone went with it, but then the guy who was just like
Yeah,
all scarf and don't take my stuff, then just
Yeah.
totally went.
There's always the
beyond it.
wild card. Yep,
And
you
Jordan
gotta
is a wild card.
take consideration for. But no, it was a lot of fun.
They were playing someone from Texas, right?
Yeah, I believe so. Austin FC.
Sure. All they were
Um,
yelling or was saying, "Screw Texas" or something.
Yeah,
Fuck Texas.
Yeah, sure.
It was a good time. It was a lot of yelling and screaming, and everybody was very, very into it, which I can really respect and appreciate. I mean, it was very unlike any type of sporting event I've been to. Just the constant nature of just like never stopping cheering, always singing,
Constant.
always screaming, always drums. And it's like, although that's like, whoa, that's a lot to me, you have to have a certain amount of respect for just that like nonstop effort.
Okay, so I have a couple of questions about the Army, because I actually don't know the answer to this, and maybe it's multi-fold or whatever.
Yeah,
Why-
and I don't know if I'll have the answers,
That's
but I'll do
okay.
my best.
You might have an idea. It's like, what is the vibe of the person in terms of stone cold sober to blackout drunk to just doing drugs right there in the stadium? Like, what is the general
Where does the
dynamic
drugs
of that?
come in?
The general
Yeah,
dynamic.
I
of
did
that
not
person.
see any drugs. The only person I saw doing anything close to drugs was me smoking weed.
Okay, sure.
So
Are you just assuming that Timbers Army or just
Yes.
doing drugs?
Yeah.
no,
I mean, like,
did not see any drugs or see anybody that I thought was even close to being on drugs.
Okay, sounds good. But then you had Jordan, who
Wild assumption, Pete.
No, it's not.
Jordan was the person I saw who was closest to being on drugs. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. But
Jordan seemed like he was having a
no,
ball.
he
having
was
a ball.
having a great time, and I don't blame him one bit. Honestly, it was so much fun because I told him at the beginning, I was like, I'm just going to document this whole thing because I wanted to get it out there in the open. I didn't want to have to hide trying to film him because I knew I was going to film him, and I knew I was going to share it because I knew it was going to be incredible stuff, and it was. He delivered big time.
I mean, like
The
I
progression of like
It was so pure and perfect.
All the way to
It was
the end
so
where his
Jordan.
shirt was off, and it's
Yes.
just
And the
all the
smoke
empty
is
beer cups in the back.
billowing in the background. It's great. I was proud of Jordan and his performance as a
Do one of
Timbers
you
fan.
have the video of him shirtless and doing that? I feel like we need to show it on
It's
the
in our
pod.
IJMS thing.
It's in.
Oh yeah, I have it. It's on my text
Yeah,
thread
you
here.
have it.
I have it. All right. Sorry, Jodes. Here you go.
I mean, he should be proud.
Yeah, he really should be. There he is. When I saw this thumbnail, I'm like, this was so predictable that Jordan went from just like.
It's a great ending.
Let's go to the.
It's a great progression.
Yeah, so we'll go to the first video here.
I'm here, and Braxton's here to document me. We're in the Timbers Army. People try to take our seats, but it's okay because we haven't scarfed off, except we don't have enough scarves for people. And listen, this ref is a cuck. I'll tell you right now, it's not okay that this guy's here. Look at him running sprints. Like he doesn't even know how to run, and I have a lazy eye. What's it to you?
What's it?
What's it to you?
What's it to you? All right, so a couple of videos go by, but then predictably,
What
Jordan.
of it?
There's not many people in the crowd, by the way, who have joined Jordan in the shirtlessness, but just the thumbnail of this is
People
just
missed
the
the memo.
side. It's just like pale ass side. All right, here we go. Arms in the air, shirtless. Smoke in the background. Put those boobs away for
Yeah.
Seattle, get into this.
This, in my opinion, is peak performance, Jordan. Like,
Yeah, I love it.
that, you got to be proud of that.
I am. I'm very proud.
But no,
What an
it was-
athlete.
It-
What an athlete.
It was definitely high energy.
the Timbers
definitely-
win.
It was a draw.
All
Yeah.
that for a time.
Oh God.
But I had a great time.
That's good.
Would recommend.
Jordan's an ultra, man. He's a fucking ultra.
Yep, whatever that means.
Same night, cross town on Magoo, you found your way to a Kentucky Derby party.
What a
Contrast.
extreme opposite of just
I know,
Jordan
you were in a
shirt
suit.
off. I am fancied up at Royal Oaks Country
You're in a
Club,
country club.
betting on horses and drinking mint juleps. Meanwhile, Jordan's shirt off, going "fuck Texas."
That's exactly how the world should be.
It was great.
What
But
is
yeah.
that like? I've never been. I swear.
Me neither.
In any capacity, I've never been to a Kentucky Derby
Me
event.
neither.
Yeah.
Well, Royal Oaks is a very expensive country club. I think, if I'm not mistaken, my friends that are watching this probably will correct me if I'm wrong. But
Being a part of any country club is just expensive in its own right.
I think it's like 30,000 is the
Yeah.
initiation fee, and then you pay monthly dues of like 2,500 or
it's
something like that.
insane. Yeah.
But a lot of my friends from high school, their parents are members, and then they're members. So these are my friends from high school. And Ashley, I initially committed to it because I thought Ashley would want to get all dressed up and
Sure.
go to a derby party. But since I never look at her calendar,
Oh yes.
I didn't know that
The
she was
girl
getting her
has-
tattoo finished on Saturday. So I decided to go, and we had free mint juleps there. I ate a lot before because I was like, I'm just going to go and drink and like bet on the ponies. And I didn't know there's going to be quite a fucking spread of like a shit ton of food. So I made myself eat anyway.
Oh yes, of course. Yeah,
I had
mean,
to
you
try
have
it.
to. You absolutely have to.
But we had unlimited mint juleps and like bourbon tastings. There's there are two like well whiskeys were Buffalo Trace and Weller.
they had Weller on. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and I had
That's
I had a lot
beautiful.
of Weller, but they had this bourbon that I've never had before until Saturday. That's 130 proof.
Oh.
Sheesh.
Stag. Have you ever had Stag?
Oh sure. Yeah.
2 Gs. I asked for a tasting, and he pours a little, and he's like, "Just so you know, this could start a car." And I was like, "Okay." I tried. I'm like, "Jesus Christ, man! I thought I just grew chest hair." But it was quite a day. I had
Mage, 15-1 odds.
I bet on 3 horses.
None of them won.
Cyclone, something, Tap It Trice, and 2 fills. And 2 fills came in second.
Yeah, I know. And Mage came from behind it and won that.
Mage was at 15 to 1.
15
He
to
was
1.
middle of the road, and
A record $288 million was wagered on the Kentucky Derby. 1.2 million of that came from Mattress Mac. He did not win. So
Yeah, he's not really winning at all.
bit
recently.
He's
of a cold streak there after his World Series win, but whatever. The guy's still coming out on top. So, but yeah,
Selling so many
$288
damn
million.
mattresses.
And I don't know. I don't feel like I would ever be able to put an educated guess on that.
also I heard
Walsh got it wrong. He had someone at 4-1.
Yeah, I
He
forget.
took someone at 4-1.
I think a lot of people were fooled by what happened last year. The horse that won last year was like 25 to 1.
No,
so,
it was like 60 to 1.
so one of like the bottom
One of the real long
bottom
shots,
5.
yeah.
So
was
there
like
were
the-
less people taking favorites. Like I think Angel Fire was one of the favorites, and a lot of people were going in the 20s, like 29.
Yeah.
I picked one that's 29 to 1. It's like just in case, you never know.
I do feel like now that there are a lot more casual bettors that that you're going. I don't know how much it might affect odds, but I do feel like if I'm coming at it from a person who doesn't know a lick about Kentucky Derby, I'm probably going to bet in the 15 to 30 odds, like
Yeah.
30 to 1. 15 to 1. And
Yeah.
I wonder how many people do that and what it actually does
Well,
to
the way we
line.
were gambling there is you weren't. It's not a sports book. We were doing like fun country club shit. So you're not. I think you would put more thought into it if you're putting in like $200-$300. But these were $5-$10 fun bets.
Sure.
So I was like, yeah, I'll take the fucking 30 to 1. I'll
Yeah.
take 25 to 1. Who cares? And they were doing squares.
Oh,
Yeah,
sure.
they like a Super Bowl square. So we did those too. But I heard an interesting fact that the Kentucky Derby is like the most action-packed, most exciting 2 minutes in all of sports. It's like that's
what
it.
they
It's like a
say.
2-minute race or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I had a lot of fun. Like it's nice to pull out the suit jacket and get dressed up and get all fancied up. I haven't worn a suit.
Make
in
sure
a
it
long
hasn't
time.
been eaten by moths and
Yeah.
it still fits.
We
So
need
let
to
me
go
check
get
this one out. Yeah.
Suit fitting here soon,
What
don't we,
is
boys?
that? Yeah, I was gonna ask. Like, are we doing what's the suit situation for the wedding?
You guys are gonna be in light gray.
Light
Yeah,
gray.
buddy.
I can get down with some light gray. We should probably start losing weight for that, huh?
I've already started.
Okay. Yeah, just with those 2 burritos that you pooped
Yeah.
out.
See,
Yeah.
it's a process.
You have to not eat the 2 burritos first, though.
No,
is
when
the
you
only-
poop them out, it doesn't count.
It doesn't count. It doesn't count at all. My
That's what
bad.
you call a positive negative.
Ever heard of it?
That apparently, no, and maybe a way that we could lose weight is if we're hypnotized. You ever hear about that? People try and do like hypnosis therapy to lose weight and everything.
I've thought about doing that, no joke, to try to help with my nail biting
Oh,
and
sure.
also my thing with chewing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I'm just like a thumbler. I should probably consider that too. But the
Thought
thing
about it.
I
Seriously.
don't. I'm not sure. I believe that it works. You know, like I don't know if you guys had this at like your senior nights in high school, or if you've seen videos or
did.
whatever. Like, do you guys buy into that? Like, how can? And have you ever been? So, have you been up on the stage? Have you
No.
been hypnotized?
No.
And then do you buy into it, or you think everyone's in on it?
I kind of buy into it
You do.
a little
But
bit.
what's the end game? So when you're saying you want to hypnotize to stop a certain habit that you have, like you go through the hypnosis and then you come out of it, and that's it.
And I guess like the thought is that apparently you're never out of the hypnosis if they haven't broken it, right? It's like if you start biting your fingernail.
Like Shallow Hal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure.
Kind of a similar concept. But I knew somebody who did it, actually, my ex's sister, who you know.
Who you're familiar with.
But she did it to, gosh, what was it? Like quit smoking.
Seduce men.
Yep, exactly. But she did it, and she had to do multiple sessions.
Okay.
But she ended up, I forget what it was.
That's the scam.
Yeah,
That's the scam.
multiple.
Oh, 6 or 7 sessions and it'll click.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's only $1,000 a
It was
session.
something for some. I don't know.
But like the senior night ones or whatever, if say they did the hypnosis on the cruise.
No.
Oh, okay. Well, they would do that generally. Like, that's the type of thing that you would see on the cruise. Is that it's like a one-off and like, these people for a half hour, 45 minutes or whatever, just like doing these silly little things. And it's hilarious. But
so you think they're actors or they're just hamming it up or what?
Or they're just gullible? I'm not sure. I'd be curious. Anyone at official IJMS, if you have ever been hypnotized or been in what I'm describing, I would love to hear your story. Because I'm not so sure that I buy into it.
Also,
it's just like when people think
if
that they're
there's a difference
supposed
between
to.
like a senior grad night and it's more for comedy.
Yeah.
Versus someone doing a serious session to break a habit. Like I wonder if the sessions are different.
I would love to do it. I'm more than willing.
Let's do it. Wait, the funny one or the serious one?
Both.
Okay, sure.
Either.
Yeah.
Either. Or.
I wonder. Well, no, it wouldn't really work for the bachelor party because we'd all have to be part of it, and then we wouldn't think it was funny because we'd all be doing it.
I would do that as one of the activities.
I mean,
but do it out on the pontoon boat.
No.
You go to sleep and you just fall into the reservoir.
You drink all of the lake water. Go.
You are very thirsty.
You are so thirsty.
Oh, goodness.
And next thing you know, Jordan is sucking on your teat.
I mean,
he might just do that on his own.
Maybe. That's happened before.
He might just do that on his own.
Last bachelor party, I'm pretty sure he... maybe I shouldn't disclose. These are private moments. But there was M&Ms.
Oh, yeah.
Involved.
He ate that off your butt.
Oh, there we go. Pete said it.
All right.
A lot of things have been eaten off my butt.
Yeah,
man.
sure has.
It's hard to remember them all.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Tastes like a shrimp burrito.
It's like an IKEA dish. There's cracks on all corners. It's moved to 4 or 5 different homes.
Yeah, this is a generational dish.
Hasn't been washed in a while.
Decades.
Yeah. The stains, you have no idea. Like, you can't get that stain out.
They're the soap smears.
But it helps the flavor.
Yeah.
It really enhances the flavor. We all have those dishes.
Dried out tomato sauce. Just
yeah. It's just a tint of red,
Not even Scrub Daddy can get rid of it.
Yeah. Well, shout out Yard House, shout out Outback, shout out Timbers. And
shout out Jordan.
And Jordan, yeah. Good for you. Thank you for allowing us to be into your intimate moments.
Jordan
Jodes.
provides great content. Whatever.
Yeah, sure.
It was, honestly, he was electric. It was a really fun time.
He was electric.
He was electric.
Yeah, I know. You're going to remember more of Jordan than you will probably the game.
Yeah. Honestly, I was just trying to make sure I got all the videos of Jordan. No offense to the Timbers, could care less.
Are you sure that he made it home?
Yes.
I'm not sure that I could do up. I don't think I could go as hard as Jordan was that night. I don't think that I could recover for days after that.
Yeah. He made it home safe.
That's something I could do like maybe twice a year, but to know that he does that all season where he loses his voice, he drinks that much, cheers that hard, that's a big ask.
Big commitment.
That's the true fandom. It's tough being a soldier in the Army.
164th Battalion.
Yep.
Yeah. Good for him.
What else non-sports? Have we kind of sufficiently covered our lives? Since everyone cares. But I do think that we provide ourselves a little bit of entertainment here and there. D's nuts.
What else is
It's going to be funny eventually. It's going to be funny eventually.
I like that you talk about D's nuts like you just discovered this joke.
Yeah, like it's
it hasn't been around for fucking generations.
It's
Yeah.
These nuts. Oh my God. I can't wait for the guys to get here and use this.
Yeah.
Just wait till the boys get here.
What a pun. What a pun. I went to I'll update on my side. I went to a trampoline park. Like a DZ Discovery Zone meets American Ninja Warrior meets lawsuit waiting to happen.
Where?
It was in Beaverton. Off
With
of
with
Denny.
basketball hoop?
Yes. And they had all kinds of trampolines and foam pits and
The Sky Zone or whatever?
um
Jump Zone?
yeah, they had a jump zone.
What was the place called?
It was called Defy.
Defy?
Defy, yeah, like Defy
Like
gravity.
gravity?
Yes, exactly. You walk in, it's like this quiet,
It's called
sleepy little.
Sherry's.
Yeah.
It's in the back of the cherries.
The smoking section of Sherry's. But yeah, it was in this like kind of sleepy, what's it called? Like warehouse area. And then you walk in, and it's just a sensory overload of just like hundreds of kids, smell of stale feet and sweat, and just like all kinds of chaos and madness. And you know, my son is a little bit more on the conscious side, so I like joined in and like jumped along and jumped, you know, all in the foam pit and everything. Every part of my body is sore.
I was going to say, did you snap an ankle?
That was the thing. Like, I was very conscious about not. Like, I didn't want to go overboard and do anything like
Injured
that.
How high do you think you actually got off of the trampoline?
Off the trampoline?
Like
Not-
maybe 4 inches?
That was the thing, because Brody would be jumping in a trampoline next to me, but then he would want to jump with me, and I did not want to send him.
You should have bounced his ass.
Blob.
Yeah. So I did not go too high out of risk that I was going to like severely injure my 4-year-old
You should have
son.
done it once.
So,
Did you guys own trampolines when you were young?
never. No,
My friends did.
Oh,
we were
I never
not
had one.
allowed. We were the no fun league.
My favorite part about the trampoline was never to jump on it, just because my size isn't someone that would have fun jumping on the trampoline. It was sleeping on it,
Yeah, sure.
like looking up on the stars,
Yeah.
like it's essentially camping, but instead of a tent, you sleep in the trampoline.
You
Then
ever
you
had-
wake up and it's just wet and you're all slide
Yes.
down the middle.
yep.
It's the best part.
Have you ever had sex on a trampoline?
No.
No, I waited till marriage.
To have sex with a trampoline?
Yeah,
On a
Good.
trampoline.
I'm glad.
that
I'm
seems
What was
like
that
that
experience
seems like a
like?
lot of work.
Actually, there's no work. You just kind of get the momentum going.
That's
Oh, yeah, I
how a
guess that
person
makes
could
sense.
soak, right? I mean, that's
Oh, soaking
soaking on a trampoline would
I mean,
work really
I,
well.
I was Mormon at the time when this happened, so
But you were just outright having sex, so.
yeah, those were towards the end of the Mormon days.
Is that why Mormons are the biggest consumer of trampoline? For soaking?
Probably.
I mean, they do
Yeah.
have a lot of kids.
No, it's for soaking.
Yeah, probably.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I got bounced off trampolines way too often in my childhood. You ever heard of crack the egg?
That's why I was trying to think of the name of it, right? Where you're sitting there
Yeah.
and you're
Fetal position, just
Uh-huh.
trying to hold on. And the longer you hold on,
I feel
better
like
you
you
are.
would have been great at crack the egg.
and then all of a sudden you're
I'd be
getting
the one jumping?
launched.
No, you'd be the one like with your like arms locked.
I don't think I can be launched.
That's the thing. That's why you'd be so good at it.
Yeah.
There you go.
I'd be scared of hitting that side, like all the spring and the metal part.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's not fun.
Not a
Okay.
risk taker, man. It's not it.
Well, I was going to transition. You know, it's not fun. But the NBA playoffs have been fun.
Yeah.
With the exception of Chris Paul being injured once again.
What a curse.
Well,
It
thank-
really is.
Thank God they have KD. Shouldn't make much of a difference.
And Devin Booger has
Yeah.
been going ham.
Don't
He's been
forget
going
old Boog Daddy.
dark.
Did you
Darvin
see
Ham.
Jokic on the bench of that
He was like,
last
they
game?
have two guys.
He's like, there's only two of them. You can't stop him. It's like, there's only two of them.
yeah, which is, I mean, it's true, but also then you have like a guy like Landry Shamet who all of a sudden goes off on you, and he becomes the third person, right? So I think that the Suns have done well to adapt outside of Chris Paul, and so that actually concerned me when I saw Jokic say that, because it was like, yes, it is true, but they are a whole team with a full minus, the injury to Chris Paul.
That's a bad mindset to have overall, to only consider two individuals.
God, what a fucking game that was, though. I don't know if you were watching it.
Mm-hmm.
That Nuggets-Suns game last night.
Yeah,
it was last night.
Sunday night.
That was insane. The quietest, monster performance I've ever seen from one player. Jokic. I was watching it because I had a bet on Jokic to have 10 assists for the game, and he had 2 in the first half. I was like, oh, he's not playing that well, and the Suns kind of running away with it. And then Denver comes back. Jokic finishes. The most shocking part of his stats is he had 4 rebounds. That is very unlike Jokic. I mean, the guy gets 15.
Yeah, he just stands there.
He had 4 rebounds, but he ended with 53 points and 12 assists.
Jesus.
He had 11 in the first half. They were just going back and forth, him and Jamal Murray, and then Booker and KD each had 36, and it was 128-124 or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
It was
that was
a crazy
final
game.
What do you guys think about what happened with Matt Ishiba and Jokic there in the corner with the ball, and that whole flop session that happened as well? I mean, I don't think that Jokic had any idea that that was the owner of the Suns. He's a brand new owner, for one. Who do you blame here? And then with the $25,000 fine to Jokic,
he got fined for that?
He got fined for it.
He should have knocked his ass out.
I think
Make it 100,000.
whether he knew that it was a fan or if it was Mark Cuban, who's a well-known owner, I don't think it matters. Don't engage yourself in the game. Jokic is in the middle of a heated game, and it wasn't even the owner. It was the person sitting next to the owner that held on to the ball, I think.
No, Ishiba was the one who held on to the ball.
So why grab the ball? What are you doing?
Because he wanted to be part of it.
I mean, I saw the guy come out with a statement that said, Jokic didn't do anything wrong. No one should be fired. And I agree with that part. They're making it into a bigger deal than it is. But I don't blame Jokic for 1 second. I don't like that he got fined. I didn't even know he got fined.
Yeah, he got
that's
fined
bullshit.
for it.
Like I said, he should have knocked his ass out.
I am curious. A couple of things. Number one, there's kind of this new generation of owner. The Steve Ballmers, the Mark Cubans, the eccentric owner that they're trying to become part of it. I'm curious if you guys think, one, are you tired of that act? And two, if you kind of think that stakeholders, and what I mean by stakeholders, owners, family members, close, they need to be a certain amount away from the court. Maybe it be a box. Maybe they are just, generally there's a family section for both home and away. But to have stakeholders that close in such a heated, environment, I don't think that they should be that
Listen,
close.
I get that you can be a passionate fan of the team that you own, and I get cheering for them and really being in the game. I don't like them being that close and engaging and being a part of it, because what happens is they're acting no different than most fans. But they're going to be treated differently because they're not regular average Joe fans. Yeah. They're fucking multimillionaires and they're owners. So the same guy that Russell Westbrook can kick out, they can't do it to them.
Right.
So then it's unfair. Jokic, for somebody who got fined during the post-game interview, I don't know if he knew it already, but he had a pretty calm response to it. He's just like, oh, I thought the NBA was supposed to protect us. Maybe I'm wrong.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was just that was an owner. Oh, he was a fan. He was. I mean,
he is a fan.
He is a fan.
He's just a rich fan.
And has to be held to a different standard, I think.
And especially when you're dealing with people who are, involved with the team like that, or family members, they're going to react in a more emotional manner because obviously they're a little bit closer to it. So it's allowing more of that could just bring more harm to them and the team.
We saw it with John Morant's dad.
Exactly.
That situation there with Shannon Sharp and other players getting involved. Yeah, I just think,
You've seen that with Dame's sister.
Yeah, I I mean, I still remember one time when Damian Lillard when we were in Chicago, and Dame he wasn't playing that day, but like his mom was getting heckled, and then she started screaming for Dame, and he tried to go up into the stands, or whatever. It was a very weird situation.
Stop playing and get this guy.
Well, he was actually injured, so he was just like trying to walk up into the stands to try and deal with it. And it was like, well, no, why don't you just stay here? But yeah, I think that the Ishaba, he tried to get him involved. He obviously was in the wrong to try and do that. I imagine that he got a stern talking to.
Yeah, and think some of these owners are getting younger and younger. They party, they get drunk. They will heckle the same way that most fans will, but they're going to be treated differently, and that's not fair.
I imagine it's like, oh yeah, I want to make it seem like I've got my players back or something like that. Very silly. I also, let's see, where was I going with that? Oh yeah, I wondered if this was Draymond Green.
Oh, God.
Would Draymond Green have gotten suspended?
3 games.
Yeah.
I think he would have.
It would be his reputation that would decide the suspension. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I do think that there's a number of players that would not be given the benefit of the doubt. Same elbow, same everything. But yeah, I think a guy like Draymond probably would have gotten himself suspended.
It's just BS, man. Stop the special treatment of these fucking owners. They go up in the box. Don't be courtside.
I do think that you have to remove some of that away from the.
Imagine
from the court.
Jerry Jones on the fucking sideline. You know, like talking shit to Justin Jefferson. Like that's why some of these owners are in the fucking box. Put them in the box.
Yeah, don't like it. Don't like it at all.
What's in the box? Jerry Jones. Jerry
Jones. Let's see if we kind of stay. Well, I mean, in the NBA playoffs as well. You were talking about it as well with the Miami Heat just kind of silently making their way to the Eastern Conference Finals, taking care of the Bucks, and now seemingly putting away the New York Knicks.
Which, if you think about it, really shouldn't be a surprise. Milwaukee was the biggest hurdle. I don't think anyone really thought that they were going to have trouble with the Knicks.
Yeah, and Jimmy Butler, has he played yet, or is he going?
He's been playing.
Okay,
he just missed 1 game.
Okay, because the last game I saw him play against the Bucks, I mean, he seems unstoppable in the playoffs.
He dropped like 28 last game. Not tonight, but the game before. He sat out 1 game against New York. They still won. And now they're up 3-1.
3-1.
Yeah.
3-1 in that one as of Monday night.
Do you think that the Heat could put together a series against either the Sixers or the Celtics? Because I feel like whoever comes out of that series is
yeah, I think they can. The biggest X factor, which you're kind of seeing a pattern now of the team. All these teams have a superstar that you can rely on. You have the AD, the LeBron, the Booker, the Durant, Embiid, Tatum, and all that. Harden stepping up again. But you're seeing these bench players or, 4th or 5th options stepping up. And Miami's got a lot of them. So you can't count them out. Picking up Kevin Love was huge. Kevin Love has been a monster for Miami. Yeah. Kyle Lowry, who's been in multiple playoff series with Toronto, is stepping up big time for them. You're hearing these names like Gabe Vincent and Max Strus, and with Tyler Hero being out, Duncan Robinson stepping up again. Like, they have pieces. You saw it with the Lakers tonight with Lonnie Walker, Austin Reeves.
Yeah.
These are the teams that are going to go far. Shockingly, the team that has a plethora of those weapons, you have not been seeing them go off yet, and that's Boston. Because Boston has the Derek Whites and the Marcus Smart and the Malcolm Brogdon. But somehow they're in the 2-2 series. I thought they were going to sweep Philly.
It is interesting when you talk about the Miami side as well as the Lakers. It's like those, when you kind of look at their role players really shining. Which, I mean, like Lonnie Walker, the Warriors seemingly had Game 4 in hand. They had Game 4 in hand until Lonnie Walker goes off for 15 in the 4th.
But that same argument is why the Warriors are losing. Because who's their main main bench guy outside of the big three. Poole has had a
He's been
shitty playoff
really
series.
tough playoff series.
Poole had like 2 tonight. Poole usually, if Clay and Steph are sitting, Poole's going off for like 20. And that's their Lonnie Walker. That's their Austin Reeves. That's their Kyle Lowry, Kevin Love combined. They haven't gotten that from them, and I would argue that's the reason why they're down 3-1.
They haven't looked great.
I feel like the Warriors may have to look themselves in the eye a little bit and figure out what they're going to do. Because if they think that Jordan Poole is their next guy. I mean, I know that Draymond has, I'm not trying to totally write them off yet, but Draymond has a player option for next year. So he could come back again. And then, you're just like, are you just going to keep on running this team, a year older and then just like not hand over the reins to a guy that you're investing a lot of money in Jordan Poole? I honestly think that, like, gosh, you may still have a bit of a hangover from whatever happened preseason with Draymond and Jordan Poole.
The thing is,
you're seeing that kind of angst play out during timeouts and things.
The thing is, though, when it's really easy to criticize certain teams when we're watching them, and Golden State goes down 3-1, and then it's really easy to look into the future, like, okay, like so and so's getting old, and this shit's not gonna work. It's really just matchups, man. Like, how easy did people write off the Lakers? Now all of a sudden AD's not in street clothes and they're battling again. I don't think there's anything wrong with the big three in Golden State. I think they're just faced with a tough matchup. Because if you ran Golden State with a run-and-gun shooting team, they would fucking murder them. They are having trouble adjusting to LA playing big. Because now LA's playing big, you're having to guard AD and LeBron in the paint.
And Golden State was forced to go small tonight because Looney was sick, so they started
GP2.
GP2.
And it's like they're having to adjust their lineup, and they're not able to do the run and gun. They're not getting in the rhythm. Golden State relies on rhythm.
Yeah.
That's their system. And it's tough. If it was any other team that they faced, I think Golden State would sweep them. And this isn't to say that Lakers are a better team. I think they're fairly even with everyone healthy. It's the matchup is tough for the Warriors.
Yeah, and it's kind of odd seeing them in this position because, like, and especially a game like that where usually we see Clay, we see Steph step up on those moments and hit those big shots, and both of them in those last 2 minutes couldn't hit the broadside of a barn. And so I don't know. It's kind of odd seeing the Lakers in a prominent position. And I don't know. I feel like all of a sudden, do you think that the Lakers could pull this out? Because the Lakers that are playing in that game tonight, I think, could beat a Celtics team or a 76ers team that comes out of the East.
Yeah, but if there's any team I'm not writing off, it's Golden State. Golden State.
Down 3-1?
I know 95% of the time, the team up 3-1 is win, but there's still 5%.
In the last 5 years, we've seen it happen.
Yeah, the Golden State Warriors are one of those teams.
If there's a team in this entire playoff series that could win at home in Game 6 and then win Game 7, it's Golden State.
Yeah,
because if Clay was on tonight, they win, and Steph wouldn't have to create tougher shots for himself. Clay had like 9 or 12. If Clay was on and you're having to watch both of them, Golden State wins this by like 5.
I honestly think that seeing the Celtics struggle in their playoff series and just like battle so much against the Hawks, and now you're kind of going like toe-to-toe with the 76ers, I just think they're going to be gassed by the end of this. Thanks, ESPN. That scared the hell out of me.
It was a bomb.
That scared me.
That scared me.
That was the mayhem commercial. My gosh, had no idea where that was coming from. But yeah, I just think that like the Celtics might just like run out of gas at a certain point. We've got the Heat who might just be sitting pretty and just resting for 5-6 days. And sometimes people could argue like, oh, you don't want to get them out of rhythm or whatever. But I'd rather be rested than...
My money's still on Boston in the East. I think they're the best defensive team in the East. I think ultimately that's gonna pull through. The reason they lost last game is Tatum was trying to do too much.
Yeah, and then you had Harden just hit that dagger.
Harden is starting to score again, and he hasn't been the last year or two. But Tatum had a bad first half, so he was trying to overcompensate in the second half, forgetting that Jaylen Brown was having a great game. And Jaylen Brown barely touched the ball in the second half.
Yeah.
James Harden's kind of like what Anthony Davis has been. It's like hot and cold, hot and cold. I mean, he had like game 1, 45 points, and then 12 and 16, and then 42 points. So it is kind of like, and in the 2 games where he's had 40-plus points, they've won. So la-ti-da.
Yeah, it's just, first, you can't write off the Warriors. Second, you hold your breath every time Anthony Davis is on the floor.
That is true.
It takes one fall. He's out. Lakers are done.
They're done without him.
They're done without him.
It seems like there's 3 or 4 times a game where it's like, ooh, that could be the one.
He may have broken his hand.
That may be the one.
He may have rolled his ankle.
But
he may be amputated.
Tell you what, they somehow make it. If the Lakers win a fucking championship,
that's kind of what I'm saying is if they can stay everybody healthy, I think they have a better chance now than they've had in a long time. Probably a better chance than they even did when they won it in the bubble.
Healthy is the addicted. I feel like, if we're seeing the AD, go 30 and then 12, 35, then 13 or something like that, it took him to the end of the year to even play in back-to-back games.
Yeah.
And I know that there's going to be some time off, but I mean, like, he's essentially struggling to get through, that second game. He's like kind of taking a game off in between. So I don't know. You get into a series and, you don't have enough time.
I totally agree with you, though. If pending health, they have a really good shot. If they make it out of the West, I think they have it. But like I said, matchups. Matchups are they're basically essentially relying on that on these playoff series, the best of 7. I think their toughest matchup will be Denver.
Yeah.
Because if you think about every big that Anthony Davis has to face, I would not be worried about DeAndre Ayton. He's soft as shit. I wouldn't even worry about Embiid because they can let Embiid get his, but everyone else in Philly would get stopped because Lakers have picked up great wings. Vanderbilt's a great defender. Lonnie Walker can score. D'Angelo Russell can score. Schroeder can score. Reeves can score and defend. Mm-hmm. But facing Jokic is going to take a lot out of Anthony Davis.
Yeah.
He's going to have to battle him and that is a guy he would have to box out. He's not having to box out anyone outside of Looney, and most of Davis's rebounds have just been falling in his hands, like jumping over everyone. Jokic, he would have to body.
Yeah.
That is going to be an exhausting series if it's Lakers-Denver.
Well, it's been fun.
Do we think that we'll see Chris Paul back in this playoffs?
I hope not.
If they make next series, if they make it. Not the Denver series.
It is interesting to see.
It's like, what's the injury? It's
What is his injury?
Patella?
It's in your it's not hernia, but it's in the inner part of your thigh.
Your
like
groin?
up in your pelvis area.
Groin?
There's a name for it.
Sacrum?
I mean, on Sporting News, it calls it a groin.
Is it?
Yeah.
No,
groin injury. Deeper.
I want the scientific name.
Deeper. The groin.
But no, he's not coming back from that for this series.
Deeper. Left groin strain. Day to day. It is like clockwork. I don't think, and that's just like, gosh, that guy ties up $45 million a year just for him to happen every single year.
The best part though is if this was the regular season, that would not be marked as day to day. Said it'll be out 4 to 6 weeks, but it's a playoffs.
Right. So
Every
you have
playoff
to keep
injury
him guessing.
is day to day.
Have to keep him guessing.
He's decapitated. day to day.
Yeah. Anything?
May play tomorrow.
Is there anything else that we want to talk about before we get out of here?
I think
Bronny James. We did want to
Bronny
talk
did
about.
commit to USC.
Yeah.
That was a shock. I thought it was Oregon.
surprising. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought he was going to come to Oregon too.
I think that Oregon has a bit of an identity crisis right now. They're not
Speak for
doing
yourself,
so
loser.
hot. Dana Altman's a little upset. They've been having some tough time getting people in the building and all that. And I just think that I did think it was kind of funny. Congratulations to Bronny James being the first one of the family to go to college. I did think it was kind of funny that LeBron highlighted that, considering the fact that Bronny's going to be there for 5 months before he leaves. So maybe eventually he'll go back and and get that college degree.
He got accepted and he will go.
He got accepted and he will go.
That's
So
all location though,
congratulations to you.
because
Yeah.
if they lived in Cleveland, he'd go to Ohio State.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just wanting to be close and stay in LA because they live in LA.
Yeah, I thought he might want to get away for 6 months,
No, because his dad would want to go see him
Go
play.
see it.
And what is the Crypto.com arena to the Coliseum is
4 miles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They share. It's the same street, right?
Yeah, it's just down the way.
but it's your dad's LeBron James. He can get a helicopter, he can get a plane, he can get anywhere like that.
Like what?
Like that.
Like that. Nice snap.
One
Well,
more
I
time.
don't like men's.
I don't like men's no more.
I don't like mans.
What do you think? I think I did add this outside of. First of all, I think Bronny's really good,
He was a 4-star recruit.
but
and,
I think his
he's not-
brother, not right now. His brother will be a lot better. I think Bryce is gonna be. He's
Is it-
longer.
This
Yeah,
like
he's
Alonzo
bigger, right?
Leangelo situation.
No, I mean, the thing is, it's unfair to Lonzo. Lonzo's the best basketball player out of that family. He's just been injured.
He has been.
But LaMelo went from the kid who would shoot from half court to actually being a really good basketball player. I think it's kind of the same. Bronny has the more mature game, but I think Bryce is more athletic. I think he's going to be better when he graduates high school.
Do you think that
But-
Bronny would stay in for a couple of years? I mean, the guy's got a $6 million NIL deal.
That's exactly what I was going to say. I think that they might, both of them might stay in college a little bit longer than LeBron did.
I think
there's
most-
way
LeBron
more-
didn't go to college. He was still
Exactly.
In that, yeah.
He went 0 years. But my point is that the incentive to go to college is a lot higher, and college for these athletes is fucking fun. If you can get paid millions of dollars, maybe not as much as you got in the NBA, but you could, kind of that experience and lifestyle of college, I can definitely see the attraction of just being hey, I'm gonna chill here for a little
And
bit.
isn't Bronny the highest paid college athlete as far as NIL? It's $5.9 million or something like that.
Yeah,
I-
he's one of, if not the most.
I get what you're saying. I think for 99.9% of the athletes, college athletes, that would make sense to stay in college. But LeBron wants to play with him.
yeah,
Yeah, I guess
So that's
true.
going to get him out after a year just so they have a chance to play together, especially if the Lakers pull it off. Because LeBron just wants one more, and then he's just riding into the sunset. He just wants a chance to be on the same court with his son, and then he's out.
it is interesting. I mean, LeBron's body seems to be holding up enough to where he could do this for 2 or 3 more.
Yeah.
It seems.
We're watching a guy that's been around for 20 fucking years
Isn't that
still
crazy?
play like
Yeah,
this.
It's wild. But yeah,
pretty
I
nuts.
do wonder how much LeBron will dictate when Bronny comes out, and then
I think he follows. I don't think he will put the pieces together as you go here, I'll go here. I think he'll see where he ends up,
and then he'll go.
And then he'll go. I'm let me just play with him for a game.
But what? What if Bronny?
The Thunder.
Yeah. What if Bronny is a 2nd round pick though? How wild is that? That all
he
of a sudden
won't. He won't, and not because
he'll be a lottery pick just because
you have to understand that
it's a package deal.
Yeah, NBA draft. It's not because getting LeBron. They're not gonna draft Bronny because he's gonna give them 29 a night. It's the seats that he'll sell. It's the whole thing. You're basically getting a Zion without Zion's skill. Hopefully that could stay on the floor because you'll sell jerseys, you'll sell tickets, you'll sell out every game because he's on your team. That's why he'll go first round. Maybe not lottery, but he'll go for, like, teams will want him.
Yeah, I agree.
His name sells.
I'd go and watch him. Go get him, Blazers.
Because there's two reasons
That'd be
people. There's people that are cheering for him, and there's people that would want to watch his demise.
It's true.
So
very true.
You LeBron hater. You
Yeah,
would want to
people
say
be
that.
shitty like that.
There's a new one to hate. But no, I would be interested to see where Bronny might go, just out of knowing that it is a package deal. That, like, LeBron will be a free agent and he will just go and sign wherever his son is.
Yeah, we'll see.
Which I'm not sure I would want my dad, who is arguably the greatest player of all time, to be there while I'm trying to learn the NBA. I mean, how frustrating would that be?
I think he knows since he started playing basketball that he's gonna have to face that it comes with the territory being LeBron's son. He's gonna be all over me. But I do want to, like, something I added there that's not, it's not like, it's old news kind of, but I wanted to get your guys' take. Like, I've been seeing a lot more lately since the Warriors are back in the playoffs that Steve Kerr, you know how Steve Kerr gets the bad rap of, like, oh, Mark Jackson put this team together, and you're reaping the rewards of this playoff team when you really did nothing. You think that's fair?
I like Steve Kerr.
You think he has done? You think that's the
I
case?
disagree with that
Disagree with
take.
that wholeheartedly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
me too.
Why?
Because you could have maybe said that the first championship. Maybe. But
I think Steve Kerr has taken a good Steph Curry and a good Klay Thompson and helped them become Hall of Famers.
yeah.
Okay, so you guys agree with that?
Yes,
Do you think Steve Kerr is one of the best coaches in the NBA?
I do.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a protege of both Phil Jackson as well as Greg Popovich in certain respects, for like multiple points in his career, and yeah, I think that he's learned a lot along the way, and he's dealt with superstars, and he has.
But isn't that crazy though? A lot of people like to judge coaches like Steve Kerr because you came in and essentially inherited these star players, these multi-generational basketball players, and they win for you. And then there's some people that might agree with the Warriors take with the whole Mark Jackson debacle, but don't agree that he's one of the best coaches in the league. But then you look at the list of the best coaches in the league, didn't every single one of them have a generational player on their fucking team?
Yeah.
It's like, why do we consider Phil the best coach, one of the best coaches of all time? Do you forget he had Jordan, he had Kobe? It's like, did he just get lucky, or was he actually a good coach to be able to manage those personalities? You know, Shaq, Rodman, Pippen.
You know what I think is kind of wild is the fact that Mike Budenholzer got fired.
That's a scapegoat move.
Yeah.
He got fired because he has Giannis. That's the reason he got fired. Because the same way that Blazer coaches get fired. You don't blame Dame.
Yeah.
You blame every coach. You don't blame Giannis. You blame that guy.
Right.
That's not fair. The guy got him a championship.
Yeah, I mean, he won nearly 70% of the games with
I will
the Bucks
say,
during
though,
his tenure.
He does look like a nerd.
He
Who
does
doesn't?
look like, yeah. It's
That's
also
all I got.
it's also really interesting to see the Nick Nurse got fired from the Raptors. He won them a championship.
Also looks like a nerd.
Then you look at the Lakers coach
Frank Vogel.
Frank Vogel got fired. He won them a
It's like,
championship.
what do you
Also
do?
looks
Oh,
like a nerd.
I won the ultimate goal in professional basketball. What else can I do? Like, you win the championship and then you get
got to
fired.
do it every year.
Well, get rid of your prescription eyeglasses, and maybe he'll.
What do you have against Nick Nurse? Calm down.
I'm just
dude.
saying.
It is pretty wild, though. Like, I mean, you're just like a couple years removed from winning a championship, and you're gone.
Yeah,
Despite the fact that you've won 70% of your
I've
games.
never understood that. Like, I feel like if I'm a coach and I win a championship, I get a 5-year buffer at least. I get 5 years after that to do whatever the fuck I want. Obviously, you go for another championship, but if we have down years, you can't boot me. I got 5 years left.
And I agree. I don't agree with any of these firings. I could maybe understand it with like the Lakers market or the Knicks market, any of the big markets.
Yeah.
But a Milwaukee?
Right.
Like,
I mean, like,
Like,
should
who's
be-
clamoring for that?
Like
no
Milwaukee, like hardcore Bucks fans will remember this championship for fucking 80 years.
one. Yeah.
You fire the guy that got you there. What isn't this their first championship ever?
yeah.
Yeah.
It is pretty wild because, like, you know, you're trying to think that, like, grass might be greener on the other side. I mean, like, the Lakers took a chance on Darvin Ham, and more or less that didn't look like it was going well up until the trade deadline, right? So I mean, it's like, who do you think you're going to get? I mean, the Blazers did this with Terry Stotts. They get rid of Terry Stotts. He's going to the playoffs every year, like 8-9 straight years. He gets you to a Western Conference finals bid, never gets you to the finals, but then you go, oh yeah, Chauncey's going to take us to the top. And you haven't had a winning season with him. You're in a total rebuild. You don't know what your franchise is. And now you take a guy in Mike Budenholzer who's been winning 70% of your games. And I mean, we don't see what's on the inside here, but gosh, who are you going to get that's going to do any better than that?
Really?
Yes, you lost to an 8 seed who's in a play-in, but I mean, gosh, like you're going up against, again, a guy like Jimmy Butler, who is insane, and a Hall of Fame coach in Eric Spoelstra. I mean, like, gosh, what do you want?
It's tough because the reason they're giving is that, and again, this is wild. He did not make proper adjustments on guarding Jimmy Butler, and that's why he got fired.
Right.
And I'm like, so Jimmy got you fired?
That's
It's
fucked
Jimmy
up.
Butler that got you fired.
I would take him as a coach. Come to the Blazers, bud.
I mean, honestly, it's not working here with Chauncey. It's really not. And who knows? Who knows? It is.
They'll get rid
pretty-
of Chauncey before they get rid of Dame. I'll tell you that.
Oh, yeah, I do think so.
Tell you that.
I think that if Dame maybe said, like, hey, go and get him, they probably would. But Dame has a really good relationship with Chauncey. So, either way.
It's really funny, too, that Kyrie showed up to a Lakers game, dapped up LeBron, and everyone's like, Kyrie's going to the Lakers.
Yeah, Damian was at a Suns game.
Yeah. And then all of a sudden, like, all of these Laker bench players started playing well, and then an article comes out, it's like, Lakers have no interest in Kyrie Irving. Austin Reeves been going off. Rui's been going off. Lonnie Walker's been going off. It's like, we don't want Kyrie.
The Lakers look good.
I just...
And I don't.
Again,
I
it's
hate
not-
the Lakers. I don't
I
really know
really
why
don't
I'm
like 'em
saying
either.
why I'm
Yeah.
saying
Again,
this, but they
it's-
look
Yeah,
good.
yeah, they do.
It's
If they
not
stay
this,
healthy.
If they stay healthy.
It's not the same sentiment the way the old Lakers are. I want them to win the last video.
Yeah, I know. That would be great.
This is essentially the same bubble team with just some pieces pulled out. They get 2 championships out of this move where they got rid of everything.
I would think that
That's
it's
more
more,
than enough.
impressive, too, because you did that without Anthony Davis having 5 months to recover and play well for 3 weeks.
At this point,
and
you
where he didn't
can't
have to
question them
travel
anymore.
at all. The farthest he had to travel was from the court to his hotel room. So, it would be more impressive. Either way, it's all we've got. Bring Mike Budenholzer to Portland.
Clear eyes.
Fort!
Can't lose.